For the final technique, as you can see here, this is a student choice. So what that means is I get to choose between any of my other techniques. So I could do rendering modeling, line proximity, cross-hatching, scribble, or stipple. Either one of those is fine. I'm going to use cross-hatch because I believe that is one of the weakest of my techniques. So I think I could use a little bit more practice. So again, I'm going to use cross-hatch. So before I even start with this, I'm actually going to write in what I'm going to be using so that way I remember. Okay? Pretty simple. Now I've used monochromatic, complementary, analogous, split complementary, and triadic, so I am left with tetradic. With the tetradic color scheme, that's basically now using 4 colors. Those 4 colors are going to be 2 sets of complements. So starting with red in the middle, I know that one of my colors, hey, look, there's the bell. Okay, I know that one of my colors is, my first color is red, using its complement green. Now I have to use another set of complements. Okay, those are my other 2 colors. I'm either going to be using blue and orange, or I'm going to be using yellow and violet. It really, that's up to me. At this point, since I'm not really trying to convey any kind of emotion, since I'm not really looking at any kind of meaning, I'm going to be choosing this arbitrarily, meaning I'm just going to choose colors just to choose colors. So I think I am going to go with blue and orange. So there we go. Now these are my colors. So just like with the other color schemes and the other value scales, I'm going to start off with my red. Okay, and since I'm using cross-hatching, once again, I'm just going to come across here, add some light lines. And remember, it's about light lines. So now my decision is, which of these colors am I going to use as my primary support color? Okay, I'm going to choose my blue as my primary support color, and then these are going to be my secondary support color. And what I mean is that my blue is going to be the main color I use to try to darken the red, and then I'm going to wind up throwing in one of the other colors to try to go even darker. Okay, because if you notice here, my red isn't necessarily going really super dark. It's basically becoming violet. Okay, well, I don't want that. I want it to get darker, so now I'm going to use my orange in here to try to darken it even more. The reason why I'm using orange instead of the green is because orange is blue's complement, so it's going to dull the blue a little bit more than anything instead of the green, which is going to dull the red. Okay, so I'm almost going to keep a more vibrant red by doing it this way. Okay, by adding green, it's going to dull my red, and you can see how I'm actually creating a little bit of a darker red over on that side. I could add a little bit more blue. Oh, that was a lot more blue, right? At this point, it's because I have so many layers of the red down that you're not necessarily going to be mixing them too much more. Okay, now I can go back over it with my red. And notice that's how I keep my lines. That's how you're able to see my lines. Layers, layers, layers. Look at the difference. Notice how I spin as I go. Okay, then doing the red, once again, you're going to be using the white for the red to create the highlight in there. So again, I'm going to come in here, some nice light lines. And you get the idea, right? Pretty easy. I'm going to clean off my red just to make sure I don't get too much of the blue or whatever on the other side. I'm going to come in here. And I started the wrong direction. I should have started in the middle and come out towards the highlight. That was a mistake on my part. But it's fine. Not a big deal. Notice how I could keep my lines. It's not necessarily about putting so much pressure down. I'm going to add a little bit more. This has a little bit more pressure. All right. Now I'm not going to make the same mistake twice, so I start in here, and I come across, and you notice the difference in the texture, right? I feel I've done a better job with this one. So definitely got a lot more of a variation in value, so not bad, right? Okay, so that's that. That's crosshatch and tetradic. It's up to you which technique you want to use, but you definitely have to use the tetradic color scheme, okay?